tiny parasitic wasp helps save one of the world's rarest birds from extinction. Interesting. What a complex species. Terrorizing picnics one minute to saving birds from extinction the next. They're tiny, terrifying, totally annoying, and yet they're also endangered birds. Wingmen. Wasps being in the conservation is just surprising. Next thing you know, mosquitoes will be planting trees. What the fuck is up, internet? Welcome to the channel, and welcome to this episode of Crazy Ass News. The whole idea behind this series is that I scour the internet for crazy, recent, under-the-radar news stories that I don't know anything about. I pick articles based solely on their headlines, and then I read through them while talking shit the whole time. A tiny parasitic wasp has given a lifeline to one of the world's rarest bird species by killing off an invasive insect that was threatening its survival. Oh shit. I kind of had a vibe that was kind of what I was expecting here. Was that, it wasn't the wasp isn't helping the bird out on purpose. It's just killing, a predator of the bird, which is kind of interesting because the parasite is pretty small. A parasitic wasp? I can't even picture what that looks like. The Wilkins Bunting lives in Nightingale Island, part of the Tristan da Cunha group. I don't even know what they're talking about. Islands? The world's most remote inhabited archipelago? I don't know what that is. It eats the fruit of the Phyllis arborea, the island's only native tree. Okay, so let me read this again slowly. The Wilkins Bunting. Okay, so the Wilkins Bunting is something. Lives on Nightingale Island, part of the Tristan da Cunha group. Okay, so this is like I don't know what archipelago is. I'm gonna have to fucking look it up. Okay, a group of islands scattered in a body of water, such as a lake, river, or ocean. Okay, so it's just like a string of fucking... How do you pronounce that shit?
Archipelago.
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 Okay, archipelago. That's what that is. It eats the fruit of the Phyllis arborea, the island's only native tree. Okay, so this is the bird? Okay, this is the bird. Wilkins Bunting. That's the bird. But around 2011, scientists began to notice signs of an unwelcome visitor. Ooh, creepy. An invasive sap-sucking scale insect had been, it seems, accidentally introduced on the island by humans. How the fuck do you accidentally introduce something with that? What? Invasive sap-sucking scale insect? Where do you accidentally find one of those? Where do you even know where to find those? Where are these fucking things from? These insects secrete honeydew, which encourages the growth of a sooty mold that weakens and eventually kills this fucking tree. Their arrival threatened to destroy the forest and the tiny bird population among it. With it? I don't know about that. And the tiny bird population with it. I guess. I don't know why you need the among there. So somehow this thing found its way like a fucking venom, like a symbiote. Somehow this fucking insect found its way onto the island. And it threatened to kill all these fucking trees that are on this one island, the island's only native tree. Where else is this fucking thing at? Where they would have accidentally came in contact with this fucking bug. I now gotta see what this fucking tree looks like. Yeah, I've never seen this bullshit. What the fuck? Yeah, what the fuck is this? Interesting. So it would secrete some honeydew, what encourages the growth of a sooty mold that weaken and eventually kill these fucking... It's not even really a tree. That's the fucking branches? The leaves? So they secrete that shit on that and that just fucking weakens it and kills it. That's crazy. This news was devastating to the scientists who study and protect the little yellow bird, as its numbers had been suffering. Huge storms in 2019 destroyed much of the forest, and surveys before the storm found there were only about 120 breeding pairs of the bird remaining. So there was only 120 pairs. So adult age birds like this, there was fucking 240 of them. I mean, how do they know that what the pairs are? That's interesting. That seems like a weird way to put that. There were only about 120 breeding pairs of the bird remaining. Yeah, that's kind of hard to understand exactly what they mean by that. The RSPB, Center for Agriculture and Bioscience International, Food and Environmental Research Agency, and Tristan da Cunha government hatched an unorthodox plan to save the buntings, releasing a small parastoid wasp called... I gotta see what these look like. What the fuck is that? Microteres metaneri? What the fuck? No, it's an N. I don't know. Let's see what these fucking things look like. Oh, so it is just a little fucking wasp. Look at this little thing. Holy shit. It doesn't look small. Yeah, it's just a little guy. Interesting. Which prevents the scale insects from breeding. Oh, so this thing comes in and... This is a small parastoid wasp, this thing, which prevents the scale insects from breeding. How do they do that? They would also set up a tree nursery to boost the number of trees and improve the biosecurity on the island to stop invasive species coming in the future. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is a pretty specific case. How could you see this coming, right? Like, you're probably just like, oh man, somebody brought some of those fucking scaling bugs, sapsuckers on the fucking island. Well, oh well. And then the next thing they know, it's killing off the fucking trees. They figure that one out, and then they figure out, well, the fucking birds only eat shit off of this tree. And that's how you figure it out. I mean, it's fucking, that's a pretty specific situation. They might have known ahead of time, but that seems pretty, so how do you stop invasive species from coming in? The biosecurity. I mean, you gotta kind of figure out how these fucking sapsuckers showed up, don't you? Before you can start figuring that out. But first, the wasp had to survive the trip from London. So these things are only in London. Almost a month by land, sea and air. It took them a month to get to London to... Well, I guess I don't really know where this place is. Almost a month by land, sea and air. Dr. Norbert Maxey, an entomologist at CBI, said the wasp faced an epic journey. Firstly, a flight from London to Cape Town in a cool bag, followed by an enforced stay at a hotel room as part of a staff member's COVID quarantine. Oh my god. Oh, that's what hold it up. So the guy taking... That sounds like an adventure, man. So the staff member got COVID while he was fucking hauling these wasps around. Next came a week-long boat journey to Tristan with temperatures sometimes dropping below zero. Finally, there was a further boat trip to Nightingale Island. It seemed like the luck It seemed like luck and time was against us, but some of the wasps made it. Oh shit, so not all of them got there. Damn. What a fucking sacrifice these people put on these goddamn wasps. They are just little guys. They probably don't live very long. Wonder how they stop them from making, they must, do they stink? We'll figure, maybe they'll tell us. Fewer than 10% of the wasps survived the trip. Damn, just a few of them. But in April 2021, the first release took place and there were more over the next 2 years. Slowly a population of wasps started to establish itself. Oh, so they just kept sending them. The first trip was pretty shady though. Was a nightmare. Scientists believe that the wasps have helped save the birds from extinction. Survey in February this year showed that despite losing approximately 80% of the forest, there is still an estimated 60 to 90 pairs of Wilkins bunting on Nightingale. Okay, so there's still a bunch of these guys. I would really like to know what they mean by pairs. They're just saying, so is there like identical amount of male birds and female birds to pull this off, or are they just, they're just saying, look, there's fucking about 120 to 180 of these fucking birds. Some of them are dudes, some of them are chicks. Let's see what happens. Although the population has reduced, the forest has recovered in short period since the wasps were released, and the scientists think that numbers of bunting should stabilize and will have a chance to recover over the next few years. I mean, this is pretty, like, it's interesting, right? Like, this is the shit some are like, it might not seem like a big deal to the average Joe because it's just like, well, this is just Mother Nature going down, right? But at the same time, the fact that as human beings we can like affect this kind of stuff in a positive way, I mean, it's probably not helping the sapsuckers out any. I mean, they just can't breed. That doesn't mean they can't fucking spit out their fucking honeysuckle wherever they want. They can still shoot their fucking loads. They just aren't gonna mate. David Kinchin Smith, the RSPB's UK Overseas Territories project manager, holy fuck, said this project shows what can be achieved in turning around the fate of a threatened species. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you do kind of get to play, yeah, you're just in control. I mean, you definitely gotta feel pretty good about that. Right? You're like making the birds are, I mean, I don't know what the birds actually provide as far as in the grand scheme of things, but I guess the fact, you just want to look at them. I mean, they're fucking pretty birds. I mean, it just looks like a fucking bird to me. So whatever, you want the birds to stick around and you don't give a fuck about the insects, right? And well, they're killing the fucking trees too, and you want the trees to be around. Steely determination, ecological expertise, and a large helping of luck have all contributed to the success of the work, but hopefully we, and the wasps, have given the buntings a much needed lifeline. That's pretty sweet. I wonder how they figured out, like, all the studies and research that went into figuring this whole mess out. Like, first of all, you gotta figure out, oh, it's the sapsuckers. They weren't native to this island, now they're here, so you gotta figure out how they said by accident, but so I wonder if they investigated it enough to know that it was an accident, or they're just guessing that it was an accident. Somebody just brought them over there on purpose because they don't like those fucking trees or the birds. Then they had to figure out that it was the bug that was fucking killing the trees. I wonder how much they already knew before shit, like they started getting evidence that something was happening. I mean, that's just kind of crazy. The fact that we have accumulated this amount of knowledge, right? And this is only like, so this story goes into the fucking books, right? When it comes to like this type of shit. So down the road, when somebody else runs into a situation that's similar to this, even they may have read it already, or they have somewhere to look and be like, oh, that's a possible solution, which is just crazy. We just keep accumulating this stuff. I mean, I feel like people, people discount evolution, but I feel like it's like right in front of our fucking face. I mean, every day we're learning as a society something new, and it is definitely like, it has to have like an effect on, you know what I mean, our survival as a fucking species, right? And the fact that we continue to adapt, and you know, it's just, even if it's not so much physically, I mean, shit, even if you took like 200 fucking years, that's like a snapshot, right? And the fucking evolution of a species, especially, I mean, when we're a young species, but dude, that's like nothing. That's like nothing. That's like Neanderthal to the next fucking guy, right? Like it's fucking nothing. So we don't even know, like, you know, and I mean, most of the fact that we have like written history now, and we've seen pictures and drawings of people that, you know, from bygone eras, and yeah, there's definitely, I ain't never seen a motherfucker that looked like Abraham Lincoln unless they put prosthetics on that motherfucker. So I feel like even in our, not my lifetime, but like in our like recorded history, we've witnessed like changes, and figuring shit out like this definitely contributes, I think, anyway. I mean, I feel like it's like, that's something to like celebrate, as like, dude, I didn't figure the shit out, right? You didn't figure the shit out, but humans figured the shit out. That's pretty goddamn impressive if you ask me. Well, that's all I have for now. Make sure to let me know what you think about this video in the comments. I'll catch you on the next one. Later.